This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Well, we're going to be talking about another piece of unique wrestling history. Today's topic is WCW Wrestlewar 1991. It went down on February 24th in 91 at the Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix. There's about 6,800 fans there in attendance, which that night, sadly, is only about half full. Only 4,300 of those folks were paying customers. The gate was a measly $53,000. And the tagline for the show was, "We want you." And I do like the idea that we showed the Horsemen, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, and Sid Vicious in their army fatigues. And I guess we're, right around the time of the Gulf War. Remember, on the other station, Vince McMahon has turned Sergeant Slaughter heel, and they're trying to make Hulkamania all about patriotism. So I guess I understand it. But I don't know that it resonated with the fans in Phoenix. Was it a mistake to run a WCW show all the way towards the West Coast like this? It doesn't feel like it was well received for us to be here at half a house.
Well, it's demoralizing, as you and I discussed before we started recording. When I look at our content today, the thing that, as I mentioned to you, is that it still stings a little bit that we only had, 4,000 and change paid.
Yeah.
It goes back to the old promoter adage. We didn't have what they wanted to see.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a very solid pay-per-view without question. But a lot of that goes back to local marketing. Who was the local event market promoter, the promoter?
Yeah.
How was the show promoted? Do we have a lot of outside the wrestling envelope publicity? You get guests on the morning weather show or the morning news show or whatever. I don't know all those answers. And I don't know if anybody knows specifically at this point in time, this many years later. So it has a lot to do with how the market's promoted. The TVS overlay was strong. They had all that data on that, who watched where and when. So it was a little demoralizing for me in hindsight, especially, that we had a pretty good show, but we didn't have the audience there to really make it work. The thing I remember, it's really funny what you remember about some of these shows. I remember having great Mexican food that weekend, and I remember sitting by the pool because it was February.
Right.
And I was living at that time, this was 91, I was living in Atlanta. And Atlanta in February, so, it could be chilly. So I remember the warm weather and the Mexican food. And I don't know what that says about my personality, but that's what I recall. But it was an interesting weekend, to say the least.
Let's talk about Arizona for a minute here. It didn't feel like a strong territory or a strong city for W. You guys would run it in July, and then you came back in September, and you're in the same building on September 6th, 1991, and the show was canceled because the ring didn't arrive and only 450 fans showed up. And then at the end of October on Halloween, you would go back as part of the Arizona State Fair. It was a paid show, so there were no tickets sold. It was just part of the state fair. There's 5,000 folks there to see it, but this just feels like really, really bad business that I can't put my finger on why it would have been the case. Any theories on your side?
Yeah, it's promoted locally like shit.
Yeah.
Simple. You can't sell goods out of an empty wagon, Conrad.
Sure.
And that's why you try to keep your wagon loaded with promotion and awareness and all that good stuff. But you can't sell goods out of an empty wagon. And I, again, go back to the WCW proved on many occasions that we were inept at promoting live local events or local events. Time and time again. We had some embarrassingly dismal crowds in the old Mid-Atlantic area.
Yeah.
Back in a TV, so you go do TV, and I heard Jim Crockett say on the interview, you put everybody on one side, so at least it looks bigger, and the noise is compartmentalized, so you can mic it. You know where to mic it. You have to put a mic over here if the crowd's over there, and so it makes a big difference from a sound and feel perspective. But I think all we're saying here, we're just identifying the same problem. The local market reps at that time were not very good. And it could have been the fact, too, that they were not given much of a budget. So, but again, the old adage of marketing that I still profess to is that you can't sell goods out of an empty wagon, and we never load our marketing and advertising wagon. I don't remember anybody making any appearances there. Dusty and Missy. I remember Dusty, Missy Hyde, and myself, I think, traveled out there together from Atlanta, as I remember. But I don't remember any of us having media appearances, which is generally a layup. You call the station. Oh yeah, Brent, come on in, and we'll do this in the morning drive type thing. Nothing. So I was just thinking it was just poor promotion. And again, you go back to but the overlying reason is we didn't have what they wanted to see.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.